The weakness of devil fruit is something that has been talked about in the One Piece fandom for a good long time. Specifically, the reasoning behind that weakness. Now, in general, I have two major theories as to why this weakness is in place. Both of them relating to the planet that our heroes are on in general. What do I mean by that? Well, with theory number one, that comes from the fact that the One Piece world in general is covered mostly in water. A lot more so than our own planet. To such a degree that I have to assume that it was created, it being the devil fruit, with that kind of failsafe in mind. If devil fruit users were to ever go rogue or become problematic, as long as you had a water source, you would be presumably fine. I'm also under the assumption that creating Kuroseki or Sea Prism Stone was actually more widespread known back during the day. Although there's also the flip side of this idea, in that with such great power, there had to be some form of downside, because from what we see from a lot of devil fruit users, whether you find their power kind of quaint or incredibly broken, there had to be some form of balance to all of that. No matter what you did, there had to be a weakness inherent to this ability. Although that does raise the question, was it an intentional weakness, or was it just something that came about because of the creation of devil fruit? Although there is the idea that you have to be mostly submerged for this weakness to really come into play. But with the bizarre nature of the One Piece world in general, the various different weather phenomenons, the calm belt in general, and how it surrounds the Grand Line, not to mention the Red Line itself, the questions that are arisen because of the bizarre nature of the One Piece world, the kind of give and take that we see with devil fruit isn't really shown to kind of exist with a lot of natural phenomenons within the One Piece world. So, generally that's why my assumption is that there had to be something programmed into the devil fruit if it comes from the One Piece world in general. We've seen the bizarre, innovative ways that the likes of Vegapunk, Caesar, Judge, and Queen have just created all these bizarre forms of technology, so I feel like it would stand to reason that devil fruits might just be another product of technology that have an inherent flaw. And whether that flaw was put there as a failsafe or if it was just put there accidentally, that's anyone's guess, honestly. Now, when it comes to my second theory, though, that comes from the idea that the devil fruit in general are not native to the One Piece world. Potentially, they come from off-world. Now, I know this theory kind of gets into a little too much of the whole Saiyan saga from Dragon Ball or the whole Otsutsuki thing from Naruto. At the end of the day, all these shonen always seem to go back to aliens. But Oda had already introduced aliens during the Eneru or NL cover story series. He introduced space pirates and the species in general because he went off to visit the fairy Verf, arrived on the moon, saw that there was a civilization there at one point. By establishing that, even if just on a cover page, we know those cover page stories are canon to the series. They're not just Oda dicking around, except for the ones that are just requests, but the potential is there that the devil fruits are not native to this world. They are an otherworldly phenomenon, and they had never at any point encountered ocean water before, or just water in general. Maybe they come from a planet where water doesn't even exist. Just because we live off of liquids and find them necessary doesn't mean every culture out in the galaxy necessarily does. So there's always the potential that the devil fruit come from another world, somehow ended up on this planet, and whereas we have a good number of devil fruit, quite a few, there's even more out there in the world. Or maybe even the complete supply just ended up on the One Piece world. Maybe they were being stolen by space pirates. Maybe it was all a fluke that something this destructive ended up on this world. Because you look no further than a lot of the islands in the Grand Line, and it's very obvious some of them have been affected by Devil Fruit users. I mean, you look at places like Punk Hazard, or even the likes of the entirety of Whole Cake Island. Like that place, it's Devil Fruit users. The majority of why these places look the way they do, it's an easy answer. Devil Fruit users. It makes a lot of sense, but it primarily exists on the Grand Line. Almost as if there was kind of some safety put in place to keep such dangerous beings primarily in the Grand Line, because you don't see too many Devil Fruit users outside of the Grand Line. There was a reason why once we hit the Grand Line, Devil Fruit users were like a dime a dozen almost. So the Calm Belt and the Red Line might have been intentional in order to kind of quarantine off anybody who had consumed a Devil Fruit. But there's still the question, was it made by the people of this world or people beyond this world? What kind of other technologies could possibly exist out there? Because the funny thing about One Piece, and something that has been very much growing in terms of the One Piece world at large, is that magic doesn't exist. There's no such thing as just straight up magic, or at least that's what it seems like. The whole Gyukimaru situation kind of contradicts that thought, but there's always these scientific explanations for so many things in the One Piece world, and so many things constantly direct right back to science and advanced forms of science that. But given that the highest form of technology that we mostly see in the One Piece world usually comes from Vegapunk or people associated with Vegapunk, it stands to reason that there's the potential that a lot of this technology doesn't even come from this world, because the One Piece world at large very much seems like it's in the, I don't know, like 1920s pretty much. And yet you have things like the Den Mushis and the dials and all these weird technologies that are just so bizarre, but also like a rural combination with advanced weaponry. And there's the potential that Vegapunk might not even be from the One Piece world. Maybe he's from off planet. I'm not saying it's aliens, but I'm saying it's alien. But it's so hard to pin down. If all of this originates from the One Piece world itself, then it all relates to Laugh-Tale, the Void Century, the ancient civilization, all that stuff. It all relates to that. Or it's aliens, it's from off-world, it landed on this world, and then it threw this world into chaos. And there's the potential that Vegapunk is of the alien race that might have come to the One Piece world and ended up sharing their advanced technology with the populace at large. But that's enough rambling for me. Let me know your thoughts on this theory in the comment section below. Which theory do you subscribe to the most? The thought that maybe the ancient civilization just had advanced technology and potentially programmed the devil fruits to have their weaknesses, or it was a result of their experimentation? Or do you think the theory of space aliens is the one that holds the most water? That an otherworldly force might have either deliberately or accidentally plopped devil fruits down onto the One Piece world and had kind of tried to quarantine it to some degree with the creation of the Calm Belt and the Grand Line and all of that stuff, which didn't really work out for the most part. And one day they'll be coming back from on high, and we'll have essentially the Saiyan saga and the whole like Otsutsuki situation, and with aliens coming to the One Piece world to be in a follow-up spin-off One Piece series where, I don't know, Luffy's successor or his son has to face off against these space aliens, and we basically have One Piece in space. Space Piece, if you will. Comment Space Piece down in the comment section below if you don't have a general opinion. But if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications for more One Piece theories. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.